right, so welcome. My name is Xaivier. It's like saying Javier, but with an X. We are here because we are going to do a global citizenship activity. And I am going to tell you a little bit about my experience because I think it's important to know who you have speaking in front of you so that you understand my connection to being a global citizen. Our goals here today is engage you to think about your individual identity, because in order to be a citizen of the world, we have to know where we are from and who we are, what internal and community factors influence who you are, where you are from, and where you are traveling to. So I want us to explore identity and that connection to our global community, the human experience, and thus our responsibility to it. A global citizen is someone who is aware of and understands the wider world and their place in it. They are a citizen of the world. They take an active role in their community and work with others to make our planet more peaceful, sustainable, and fairer. First, we'll start with the fact that I traveled to the Dominican Republic, but I was a junior at Georgetown University and I came home for the summer, and then in the fall I went to Dominican Republic. What was my experience? I, of course, am Black in the United States, but there was a different experience of being Black in the Dominican Republic. What really influences that difference? In the United States, I find through studies that it is because of our one-drop rule, and in the Dominican Republic, it's because of the caste system inherited by the Spanish.
I just want to add, to her point, I want you to think about statistically, the DR has the 5th largest Black population outside of Nigeria. And yet, that ownership of that Black identity is not as solid as we find sometimes in the United States. Precisely because of that caste system. It was almost as if they were allowed a spectrum of whiteness that they can aspire to. And as long as you can claim one drop of whiteness, if you will, okay, metaphorically speaking, then you could pass. And that's the difference between, I would say, all of Latin America and the United States, is the negotiation of Blackness is different because of this.
Thank you so much. I'm pointing these things out because it really shaped my experience to travel somewhere and have my understanding of Blackness, and then go to the Dominican Republic and it be a juxtaposition in many ways, but it be so similar, right? So it really jolted me into this new responsibility as a global citizen, because understanding who I was now thrust in a system in which I had to question, observe, not judge. A part of being a global citizen is that you observe things from your perspective and your lens, and it can be limited. So after probably being judgmental the first semester, when I went there to live permanently, I started to educate myself and talk to people, and I understood better. And I educated other communities and did like girls' camps and worked with them around accepting their skin color and who they are. I also went on a journey of self-love. And through that journey, I started creating affirmation art. And then I decided I was going to represent negritude, Blackness, in all of my work. So yeah, 70+ communities and spaces have been beautified internationally. And I think it's mostly because of that experience really facilitating this global understanding of the world and my part in it. We are going to jump into our activity. This is when you get your hands-on experience and get to be creative. These are the steps to our activity today. Each person will get a passport, and it will include who you are, which is basically your declaration. Then there's the visas, and we have visas that have different values. And then we also have a photo. How has this experience been reflecting on who you are as an individual, and then thinking on the larger scale about being a global citizen.
I think it's important to be a global citizen in terms of how you see other people, because that in turn helps you to see them as they are, just that people. Just how Terrence was just mentioning the value or the aspect of being interconnected. We should be reminded that by being a global citizen, regardless of where we find ourselves, we all be the same. Whether we have different backgrounds, different cultures, we can mutually appreciate our experiences regardless of where we're from.
I have hope that the more we love ourselves, the more we connect and tell our stories, then the more people will really grab onto the human experience and will uplift each other. I hope you guys go out into the world and be global citizens, or just be good global Morehouse citizens, for sure. Thank you.